Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending topics, political events, and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system, and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. First, the headlines. Rivers State Assembly accuses Fubara of budget delay, denies receiving letter. Pandef moves to resolve political crisis. Anambra confusion as APC World Congress in crisis. PDP, Dagama denies resignation, rumors call it fake news. Akpabio versus Senator Akpoti, SSS NIA probe into Natasha's participation at IPU meeting. In politics, El Rufai speaks on Tinubu's Chicago University issues. Remember that we are open for advert placement, booking, TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. We are on Twitter on Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website on www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a quick break, and when we get back, I will introduce my guest to you and we'll dive into this critical discourse. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Here with me in the studio to dive into this critical discourse is Victor Enyinche. He's a political analyst, and we are so glad to have you join us today.
Great, always great to be here.
Let's go right into the discourse. Rivers State House of Assembly has accused Governor Siminalayi Fubara of frustrating the implementation of the Supreme Court's judgment, particularly the directive requiring him to present the 2025 appropriation bill to the lawmakers. The Rivers State House of Assembly made the accusation through its chairman, House Committee on Information, and spokesperson, Dr. Enemi George, in Port Harcourt, the state capital, on Sunday. George urged the public to pressure the governor to follow due process in presenting the 2025 appropriation bill rather than attempting to gain public sympathy by portraying lawmakers as obstacles. He challenged the governor to produce an acknowledged copy of the letter he claimed to have sent to the House. He said last week we were told that on his way to Ogoni for a program, the governor made a stopover at the gate of the House of Assembly quarters to grant an interview to the press. In that interview, he claimed that he had sent a letter to the House of Assembly indicating his intention to visit and present the appropriation bill, a claim we found rather astonishing as no such letter was received by the House of Assembly. His aides later alleged that he forwarded the letter through WhatsApp to some members of the House, which was also awkward, unprofessional, and embarrassing. George added, "As I speak, the social media spaces are awash with stories about the purported letter from the governor to the House of Assembly expressing his intention to visit the House to present the appropriation bill for the year 2025. Nothing can be farther from the truth. We want to state categorically that there is no such letter before the House of Assembly nor any of its staff. We challenge the governor and his aides to produce an acknowledgement copy of such a letter or any evidence that such a letter was sent or received by the House of Assembly. It is absolutely untrue and unfortunate. The general public must, as a matter of importance, ignore such claim." George further said the governor frustrated all the House's efforts to work with him to resolve the lingering crisis immediately after the Supreme Court's judgments, particularly on the aspect of presenting the appropriation bill in the interest of the state. According to George, House staff members who attempted to deliver the letter to the government house were assaulted and turned away. The lawmakers then resorted to using a courier service, but the governor still did not respond. He added the governor did not heed to our call, nor did he demonstrate any intention to. Recall again that the judgment of the Supreme Court invalidated the appointment of most of the commissioners of the state. Well, to bridge this gap and avoid a vacuum, this house immediately wrote to the governor.
You think there's a resolution, you hear, another episode. It's just episode after episode of unnecessary drama in the politics of Rivers State. And I think it's gotten too much. It's almost becoming like a joke. I understand where both parties are coming from. Unfortunately for the governor, the part where we're in now is the part where you have fewer cards to deal. And because you have fewer cards to deal, you have to be very careful about what you throw in, to the board to the table. So for me, I think it's an unfortunate situation that could have been avoided way earlier. This could have been averted, before now. But I mean, this is where we are. So both parties must learn to compromise, must learn to take decisions that would be in the interest of the state. But I think one interesting thing about this whole situation is that one person that holds most part of the stake is the governor. He's the executive governor of Rivers State. Nobody, is taking away that from him, at least not yet. A lot of the decisions, a lot of the bulk stops, with him. Whether the assembly is playing mind games or they are playing their tricks or whatever, or he is playing tricks, if you notice, most of from this point where, the legal aspect of the whole tussle seems to have been settled by the Supreme Court. The ball now, the bulk of it is now with the governor. And I like to, if I have an opportunity, like I've always done, advise the governor, this is time to be strategic. No matter how we berate or complain about the moves made by the House of Assembly, they are functioning as an independent arm of government. And what is the arm of government? Lawmaking, checkmating the executive and ensuring that both the executive and the local government arm operate within the ambit of the law.
Right.
And this is what they are doing. Their approach might be different, might be unfamiliar to what a lot of us know to be, but this is the approach. This is politicking. At this point, the governor will need to up his ante in terms of politicking. He would need to play the highest form of politics in the interest of the state. I've always said it on every platform I have an opportunity to, that good governance fuels good, good politics rather fuels good governance. You can't be in government and not know how to politic, because it is the politicking that takes you, that controls the power in government. So you cannot do without good politics. So if you play bad politics, you will result in having bad governance. So the governor needs to, take a step backward and lobby. I know that he and the minister of the FCT have their issues, and of course most of the 27 lawmakers are loyal to the FCT minister. But this is the point where you lobby. You are in a state where you can't go back. The only way to move is forward. Look, I don't believe that the 27 lawmakers are impossible to penetrate. I don't want to believe that. I mean, he's the governor of Rivers State. They are also members of Rivers State. So I think the governor should, play. This is the point where he needs the highest form of intellectual politics in order to navigate this whole murky waters of, the fight he's having with the assembly. As for the assembly, I also understand that they are also, trying to play politics. They are trying to, flex their powers. I mean, for about a year plus, they've not been able to function. Their function has been sectionalized, or was sectionalized. When Okojombo was in the picture. But right now, it's like they have the full power. They have the full autonomy. You cannot deny them at this point. They are no longer a group of friends. They are now the House of Assembly. So they are trying to flex as much muscles as they can. But in flexing that muscle, I'd like to advise that they should also understand that they are there to represent the people of Rivers State. So no matter how much of muscle they want to flex. If it's to the detriment of the people in the state that they are in quotes representing, then I think it's going to be an aberration and shouldn't be so. So whatever decision they are taking, back and forth about the governor not using the right channels, it should be done, for the state or for the interest of the state, and not just because they want to prove a point that obviously everybody agrees that at this point they are the House of Assembly, So in trying to play politics, I think they should consider the interest of the people first.
Thank you so much for your insight on that. Now, I want to gather your thoughts as regards, last week, the FCT minister made a statement as regards, the letter that was sent by the governor is useless. And he also went forward to, and I quote, why didn't he try to reach them through other means as regards sending them, calling directly and or sending them messages directly. Now, the chairman of the committee has come up to say that they did claim that they sent WhatsApp messages, right? Which is not a formal way of sending. Now, my guest for last week, I did, ask him a straightforward question, which I'm still going to put to you, even though it's not critically as regards, very much concerned. The FCT minister didn't come up in this report. But I asked if they reached out to the governor through a letter. Was there anything wrong in the governor reaching them back through a letter which they now claim, like the head of committee said, they didn't see the letter. It was forwarded to some members, on their WhatsApp and all of that. Now, in the grand scheme of things, what is the faith of Rivers people in this scuffle?
No, first of all, like you mentioned, what the minister of the FCT said is his opinion. And I don't think that is that amounts to what is for everybody. If he says anything is what it is, that is what he thinks he is. For me, I think this is just simple politicking. There's nothing more and nothing less. I mean, I see a lot of sensationalization from different sectors of the society where these persons will come. I mean, even to the point where, it got to the ethnic coloration of, what is happening, which for me I think is quite unnecessary. Look, this is politics. The State House of Assembly is confined with the responsibility of making laws, and their function as the assembly is what they are doing. The governor is an executive, and I keep saying this thing, there are consequences for every action that you take. What is happening now is both parties facing consequences. The lawmakers, and several lawmakers had stayed for a year plus without salaries and anything accruing them because of the decision they took. At some point, they faced all that consequences, and this is where they are. The governor is facing the consequences of, first of all, the issue with the State House of Assembly complex that was brought down that says he wants to renovate. If that was where they were sitting, I believe some of these complications would not be there, because you would drive to, now you're going to where they are sitting is also their residence, so they have a lot of excuses to play the drama they are playing. So it is only consequences of actions taken by both parties that is happening. So each party should recognize that, look, whatever I keep saying, I read somewhere somebody was saying, oh, the State Assembly should do this. I said, look, this is the governor people should allow the governor to face the pressure as a governor. Stop trying to fight for him as a group of people. No, the governor has a responsibility. He's the leader of the state. He has a responsibility to act whatever decision that is necessary for him to take for the state to move forward. He should take it. It is not you and I that will take that decision. When the time comes for election, we're going to go through all of that process. That is where we come in. At this point, this is not where we come in. As a people, our role is to keep encouraging the government to keep demanding for accountability. But you cannot demand for accountability in isolation. You do that through agencies, through means like the House of Assembly, through public complaints and all of that. So at this point, the governor should try to, as much as possible, see how he can deal with these consequences, because they are his. They are coming as a result of decision. So if the House of Assembly has said what they have said, now the case is they are saying they've not received the letter. But if you listen to what you read, they did not say they did not receive the letter. They did not say. They said there is no acknowledgement copy. you know, there was emphasis on that. Show us the acknowledgement of it that you gave us a letter, because that by the usual procedure, you know, of communication from the executive to the assembly, laid down procedures, and they are saying with regards to those procedures, there are no evidence that you've sent a letter. The only evidence that shows that a letter was sent or received is usually the acknowledgement copy, and that is what they are saying. So if you like, do a video of you standing in front of the gate with that document, as long as they have not acknowledged, it means they have not received, and this is the laid down procedure. So that's why I say, I will come back to what I said. This is time for lobbying. This is the point where the governor needs to look for a ways. This is where people in leadership, you know, not just political leadership, traditional and religious, should come into play. The governor should apply all tools, all measures to ensure that he's able to function as an executive governor of the state, because it is important to the people. The House of Assembly, I also, you know, repeat, in playing out politics, they should understand that the interests of the people, you know, should be put first, because no matter how much
in this politicking, where does the interest of the people come in? If we're having this scuffle till now, when would salaries be paid?
No, the scuffle, that's what I'm saying. The scuffle does not or should not impede on our existence as a people. Look, governance is there. Governance is continuous. It doesn't stop. Politics, of course, is also an instrument used in governance. Electionary times are different times. This is times for governance. People will still play politics whether or not. The politics is not for them to be elected. The politics is how things are done. So whether the governor is in good terms with the assembly should not, in the real sense of it, impede or stop the people from having what fundamentally belongs to them. If this now happens, this is when the people can rise up and say, look, both the governor, you know, the House of Assembly, this is why we sent you. This is what we want as a people. We are not being paid. Why? If it's because of something you're doing, then you're not representing us, because you're doing what is ensuring that we're not getting what is accrued to us. So at this point, this is where that's why I see some citizens go around and take sides and try to I say, look, your duty as a citizen is not to support the governor or the House of Assembly members. It's to call for both of them, both parties, to be accountable for us. They are servants. They are there to represent us. They are there to serve us. They are not there. Leadership is service. You know, so the fact they are there as both governor and assembly, they are not there to spend on our behalf. They are there to ensure that our intentions, our interests is properly represented. The reason why different areas, local government areas, are represented in the assembly, the majority carries the day. Why does the justice, of course, to say, okay, why is this not happening and why is this not happening? So, I mean, the people, you know, should not misunderstand. We should not misunderstand our function, our responsibility as a people. It is not to carry the agenda of the governor. No, we are the ones to give the governor our agenda. We are the ones to give the House of Assembly. This is what we want. Sustainability comes from what is actually needed. So at this point, we as a people need to play the role as a people. Now, what I'm saying is that people are trying to play the role of politicians. People are trying to play the role of, well, I mean, look at what happened yesterday in Abalama, where people are the ones. Look, you have freedom of movement. People are inviting somebody to their own community, and some group of persons say, no, you should not come. Why should that happen? Why, in a sane society, why should that happen? If there are genuine, legit reasons why this is not, that's a different. You just come up and say, no, it is, for me, it is senseless. That is not what the people, this is not what we should demand for accountability from both of them. Because if you stop, if you don't demand accountability for one person, the other person feels like, okay, so this person is a saint. No matter how the amount of wrong the governor does, because you keep saying the governor, you keep telling him, Your Excellency, you're right, Your Excellency. Same thing with the State House of Assembly. You keep telling them that they are doing the right thing, even when they are doing the wrong thing. And because you keep singing their praises, it will be difficult for them to check themselves.